Have you ever noticed that on certain days, your legs feel heavier than usual, your knees seem slightly numb, and your feet appear swollen even though you have not been walking much? If you have experienced any of these symptoms, you are not alone. Many older adults quietly suffer from these same issues every day, without realizing that the cause may be sitting right there on their plate of vegetables. Since childhood, we have all been taught that vegetables are good for our health. But here is a truth that few people talk about. Not every vegetable is safe for older bodies. Some vegetables that seem perfectly healthy may actually contain natural compounds that increase uric acid, trigger joint inflammation, disturb digestion, or even impair kidney function when consumed too frequently. According to experts from the American Nutrition Association and the Arthritis Foundation, aging changes the way the body absorbs and processes certain foods. This means that foods you used to eat freely in your younger years may now be putting strain on your joints, bones, and digestive system. That is why in the next part of this video, we will explore 4 common vegetables that may carry hidden risks for older adults. This is not a list of foods you must completely avoid, but rather a guide to help you better understand your body and make smarter food choices. If you truly want to keep your legs strong, flexible, and free from unnecessary pain, be sure to follow along closely. You might be surprised to learn that some of the vegetables you eat every week could be quietly harming your joints and overall mobility. Let us begin with the first food on the list, peas. Peas may seem like an innocent, light, and nutritious food, but they can actually be a hidden contributor to joint problems and worsening pain, especially in older adults. With their bright green color, mild sweetness, and frequent appearance in family dishes, peas are often considered a healthy choice. But if you are over 60 and dealing with joint pain, diabetes, or unexplained fatigue, those little green peas might be doing more harm than you realize. Let us take a closer look to understand why peas may not be suitable for older adults in certain cases. First, we need to examine the nutritional content of peas. In 100 grams of boiled peas, there are approximately 14 grams of carbohydrates, including 5 to 6 grams of natural sugars and rapidly digestible starch. While this may seem like a small amount, it can be quite significant for older adults whose metabolism has slowed and whose insulin response is less efficient. These natural sugars can cause sharp increases in blood sugar levels. After eating peas, you may feel full quickly, but that feeling of fullness can fade just as quickly, leaving you drained of energy. This is because peas have a relatively high glycemic index compared to other vegetables, meaning they raise your blood sugar faster. A report from Harvard Medical School warns that starchy vegetables like peas can significantly raise blood glucose if eaten frequently or in large quantities. For older adults with diabetes or prediabetes, this presents a clear risk. But the story does not stop there. Peas also contain a compound called purine. When digested, purine is converted into uric acid. High levels of uric acid in the blood can lead to the formation of urate crystals in the joints, especially in the toes, ankles, and knees. This can trigger intense inflammation and pain, a condition known as gout. For seniors with a history of joint pain or gout, eating a lot of peas over time can increase the frequency and intensity of these painful flare-ups, making it harder to walk and enjoy everyday life. The National Institutes of Health has confirmed that a diet high in purine is one of the biggest risk factors for elevated uric acid and worsening of joint-related conditions. Another concern with peas that often goes unnoticed is their effect on digestion. Peas contain complex carbohydrates known as oligosaccharides, along with lectins, 2 substances that are difficult for the aging digestive system to process. When not properly broken down, these substances ferment in the gut, producing gas and leading to symptoms such as bloating, abdominal cramps, or mild diarrhea. Many older adults report feeling gassy or uncomfortable after eating peas without realizing the cause. For individuals with digestive issues like irritable bowel syndrome or colitis, peas may worsen the condition and contribute to poor digestion. In addition to their internal effects, how peas are prepared and consumed can also make a difference. Some people assume that mashed peas, pea soup, or soft-cooked pea dishes are easier to digest. However, these methods of preparation do not reduce the sugar or purine content. On the contrary, if peas are eaten along with fast-digesting starches, such as white rice, potatoes, or white bread, the spike in blood sugar and uric acid can be even more dramatic. This could lead to post-meal fatigue, joint discomfort, and worsening inflammation. So, should you completely eliminate peas from your diet if you are an older adult? Not necessarily. The key lies in cautious use. Instead of making peas the main ingredient in a meal or eating large amounts, try using them as a small component in a balanced dish. Pair them with healthy fats like olive oil or avocado, or with lean protein sources, which help slow the absorption of sugars. One simple tip is to lightly boil the peas and season them gently, rather than cooking them heavily or blending them into purees. If you have a history of gout or kidney problems, it is best to consult with your doctor or a registered dietitian before including peas regularly in your meals. Monitoring how your body reacts after eating can also help you determine whether this food is suitable for your personal health condition. In summary, peas are not inherently bad, but for older adults, the body's ability to digest and metabolize them has changed. The potential effects of peas on blood sugar, joint health, and digestion may not be obvious right away, but over time they can lead to significant discomfort and health risks. That is why it is important to listen to your body, adjust your diet to match your current health status, and not let a seemingly harmless food quietly undermine your strength. If you have noticed joint pain, fatigue, or digestive upset after eating peas, consider making a small change today. That small shift could make a big difference in how your body feels tomorrow. 2. Asparagus. Do you often include asparagus in your meals? If so, you are not alone. For many years, asparagus has been considered one of the healthiest vegetables, praised for its ability to support weight loss, improve digestion, and enhance heart health. Many doctors, nutritionists, and health publications have encouraged people to add asparagus to their diets due to its high vitamin and fiber content. However, there is a little-known truth that few people talk about. Asparagus may not be the ideal choice for older adults, especially those who have joint problems, kidney issues, or are prone to dehydration. Although it may sound surprising, certain natural compounds in asparagus can quietly cause unwanted effects, potentially increasing health risks in the elderly. One of the most important factors to consider with asparagus is its purine content. Purines are natural compounds found in many foods, especially protein-rich foods and green vegetables like asparagus, spinach, mushrooms, beans, and organ meats. When purines are broken down in the body, they are converted into uric acid. If uric acid builds up in the bloodstream, it can become difficult for the body to eliminate. For younger people with healthy kidneys, this process is usually managed well. But as we age, kidney function naturally declines, and the body becomes less efficient at filtering out uric acid. As a result, uric acid may accumulate in the blood and form crystals that settle in the joints. This condition, known as gout, causes severe inflammation and pain, most commonly starting in the big toe and then spreading to the ankles, knees, and other joints. For older adults who already struggle with joint pain or chronic inflammation, eating asparagus regularly may make matters worse. The frequent consumption of purine-rich vegetables like asparagus can increase the number and intensity of gout flare-ups, resulting in swelling, stiffness, and pain that lasts for days. These attacks not only affect mobility, but also significantly lower quality of life. According to a study published by the United States National Institutes of Health, a diet high in purines is a major contributor to increased uric acid levels and gout-related complications in aging individuals. But the risks of asparagus are not limited to joint pain. Another aspect that deserves special attention in older adults is asparagus's natural diuretic effect. Asparagus contains a compound called asparagine, an amino acid that stimulates the kidneys to expel more water and salt from the body. That is why many people notice that they urinate more frequently after eating asparagus. On the surface, this may seem beneficial, as it helps cleanse the urinary system. However, for older individuals, especially those with reduced kidney function or who are prone to dehydration, this diuretic effect can quickly lead to water and electrolyte loss. When the body loses too much fluid, blood becomes more concentrated, circulation slows, and the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to muscles and joints weakens. This explains why some older adults feel lightheaded, fatigued, or generally low in energy after eating asparagus. Dehydration can also increase the likelihood of muscle cramps, particularly in the calves at night. These cramps may disturb sleep and significantly reduce overall well-being. The discomfort and poor sleep associated with cramping can create a cycle of fatigue, inactivity, and joint stiffness, which makes movement even harder during the day. In addition to dehydration, the diuretic effect of asparagus places additional strain on the kidneys. When the kidneys are forced to work harder to eliminate excess fluid, especially in a body that is already low on water, the small filtering units inside the kidneys, called nephrons, are put under stress. Over time, this can lead to kidney fatigue and may contribute to chronic kidney disease if not managed carefully. A report published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition pointed out that diets high in purines and natural diuretics can contribute to gradual kidney decline in adults over 60, especially in those who already have a history of kidney stones, glomerulonephritis, or high blood pressure. So, what should you do if you enjoy the taste of asparagus? The answer is not to completely eliminate it, but to consume it mindfully and in moderation. If you have a history of gout or joint inflammation, it is best to limit asparagus intake to once or twice per week. Always make sure your body is well hydrated before and after eating asparagus. Drinking plain water or a mild electrolyte drink can help offset the fluid loss caused by the vegetable's natural diuretic properties. When preparing asparagus, choose to steam or boil it thoroughly, as this may slightly reduce its purine content and make it easier to digest. If you are taking diuretic medications or have been advised by your doctor to monitor fluid intake, it is especially important to speak with a healthcare professional before adding asparagus to your regular meal plan. This is crucial to ensure that your diet supports your health rather than interfering with it. You can also balance the effects of asparagus by including foods that support kidney function, such as celery, cucumber, parsley, or hydrating fruits like watermelon and pears. Adding potassium-rich fruits such as bananas or avocado may also help regulate blood pressure, balance electrolytes, and reduce strain on the kidneys. Furthermore, supplementing your diet with calcium and vitamin D from natural sources or safe supplements may help protect your bones and joints from the negative impact of inflammation or excess uric acid. You might be surprised to learn that a vegetable often celebrated as a superfood can also carry hidden risks for older adults. But once you understand how asparagus works inside the body, it all begins to make sense. As we age, the body undergoes many changes, and the most important thing we can do is learn to listen to those changes and respond accordingly. Every food you place on your plate contributes to your strength, your energy, and your ability to move freely each day. Asparagus is not the enemy, but like any powerful ingredient, it must be used with care, in the right amount, and in the right context to deliver its benefits without causing harm. With thoughtful choices and small adjustments, you can continue enjoying the foods you love while keeping your joints strong, your kidneys healthy, and your energy levels balanced. 3. Spinach. Spinach, also known as a nutritional powerhouse, has long been praised for its impressive levels of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. For many, especially those following a heart-healthy or low-calorie diet, spinach seems like the perfect green vegetable. But for older adults, especially those dealing with joint pain or reduced kidney function, spinach may bring more hidden risks than benefits if not consumed correctly. One of the main reasons spinach can become a silent threat to elderly health is because of its extremely high oxalate content. According to data from Harvard Medical School, spinach ranks among the highest oxalate-containing vegetables, with approximately 750 milligrams of oxalates per 100 grams of fresh spinach. Oxalates are natural compounds found in many plants. Inside the body, they can bind with calcium to form calcium oxalate crystals, which are the primary substance found in kidney stones. As people age, kidney function tends to weaken. The ability to filter and eliminate these substances becomes less efficient, and consuming a high oxalate diet over time can overwork the kidneys, raising the risk of oxalate buildup and stone formation. These kidney stones can lead to severe lower back or abdominal pain, nausea, and difficulty urinating. In fact, many older adults are hospitalized every year due to kidney stone attacks, often triggered by seemingly harmless dietary choices like daily spinach intake. But the problem does not stop at kidney stones. Oxalates also interfere with the body's ability to absorb calcium, which is critical for maintaining strong bones and joints. Many seniors make a conscious effort to increase their calcium intake through foods like milk, cheese, almonds, or calcium supplements in order to prevent bone thinning and fractures. However, if large amounts of spinach are included in the same daily diet, much of that calcium may be neutralized. When calcium binds with oxalates, they form insoluble crystals that the body cannot absorb. Instead of strengthening your bones, the calcium is lost in the process, and over time, the risk of osteopenia and osteoporosis increases. This is especially concerning for older adults who are already at higher risk of falls, fractures, and joint pain. When bone density decreases, the hips and spine are particularly vulnerable, and even minor accidents can result in serious injury. Spinach also contains large amounts of oxalic acid, which not only binds to calcium, but also to other essential minerals such as iron, zinc, and magnesium. While spinach does contain iron, the type of iron found in plants is not absorbed as easily as the iron in animal products, and when that iron is bound by oxalates, it becomes even harder for the body to use. For older adults who are already prone to iron deficiency anemia, eating spinach regularly without proper preparation may actually worsen their condition. They might feel weak, dizzy, or fatigued without understanding that the very food they thought was helping them could be a contributing factor. Furthermore, spinach contains purines, the same compounds found in asparagus and peas, which are converted into uric acid. For seniors with a history of gout or elevated uric acid levels, excessive spinach consumption may trigger painful flare-ups, leading to swelling, redness, and joint stiffness. According to the National Institute of Nutrition, spinach is one of the leafy greens most likely to affect people with sensitive joints when consumed in large quantities without moderation. So, is there a way for older adults to still enjoy the health benefits of spinach without facing its risks? The answer is yes, but it depends on how you prepare it and how much you eat. The biggest mistake many people make is eating raw spinach every day in smoothies or salads. When spinach is consumed raw, it retains its full oxalate and oxalic acid content. This puts the kidneys under stress and interferes with mineral absorption. The safest approach is to lightly cook spinach by boiling or steaming it. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition shows that boiling spinach for just 1 to 2 minutes can reduce soluble oxalate levels by up to 50%, which makes it much safer for the kidneys and digestive system. Additionally, combining spinach with foods that are rich in calcium and vitamin C, such as yogurt, salmon, or citrus fruits, can improve the body's ability to absorb nutrients and reduce oxalate buildup. However, it is important not to pair spinach with iron or calcium supplements, as oxalates may still interfere with their absorption. If you are taking supplements, it is better to space out the timing of your meals and allow 2 to 3 hours between spinach and any mineral-rich medications or supplements. For those with a history of kidney stones, osteoporosis, gout, or chronic kidney disease, it is best to limit spinach consumption to once or twice per week, and consider choosing other leafy greens with lower oxalate content, such as kale, bok choy, or water spinach. These alternatives are gentler on the kidneys and still offer valuable nutrients without the high oxalate risk. It is also important to monitor your body's reaction after eating spinach. If you experience symptoms such as bloating, nausea, lower back pain, or discomfort when urinating, take a closer look at your recent meals and speak with a healthcare provider about whether spinach is suitable for your condition. In many cases, making just one small change, such as switching from raw to boiled spinach, can greatly reduce kidney strain and support better joint and bone health. Overall, spinach is not a harmful food, but it must be consumed consciously and cautiously, especially by older adults. While it does offer many benefits for the immune system, vision, and cardiovascular health due to its rich supply of vitamins A, C, K, and folate, its downsides for the kidneys, joints, and digestion should not be ignored. By cooking spinach properly, choosing appropriate portion sizes, and rotating it with other greens, you can enjoy the good without suffering the bad. 4. Cabbage. Have you ever felt bloated, uncomfortable, or unusually tired after a meal that seemed healthy? It may have included a very common vegetable that is widely considered a superfood, cabbage. This leafy vegetable appears in many daily dishes, from boiled or stir-fried meals to pickled forms like sauerkraut and kimchi. Loved for its affordability, vitamin content, and digestive support, cabbage has long been viewed as a nutritious choice. However, for older adults, cabbage may carry hidden risks, particularly for thyroid health, digestion, and overall metabolic balance. These risks are often overlooked, making it important to take a closer look at how cabbage may affect the aging body. One of the biggest concerns with cabbage is a group of natural compounds it contains called goitrins. These are part of a broader group known as goitrogens, which can interfere with the thyroid's ability to absorb iodine. Iodine is an essential mineral that helps the thyroid gland produce hormones such as thyroxine, which regulate heart rate, body temperature, metabolism, and nerve function. When the thyroid does not receive enough iodine, it may lead to hypothyroidism or underactive thyroid. Symptoms of this condition include chronic fatigue, dry skin, weight gain, slowed thinking, memory problems, and even depression. For older adults, especially women over 50, the thyroid naturally begins to slow down. Consuming too many goitrogenic foods like cabbage can increase the risk of thyroid imbalance, which in turn affects overall metabolism, energy, and brain function. A clinical study published in the journal Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that diets high in goitrogens without adequate iodine intake can lead to thyroid enlargement, and in some cases, goiter. Raw cabbage, in particular, contains more goitrin than cooked cabbage, which is why eating it raw in salads or in lightly pickled form should be done with caution, especially for those with a history of thyroid issues or those currently taking thyroid medication. Another concern is raffinose, a complex sugar found in cabbage. This sugar is difficult to digest for most adults and tends to ferment in the colon, producing gas. For seniors whose digestive systems are often more sensitive, this can lead to bloating, abdominal pain, and excessive gas that lasts for hours. This problem is especially pronounced in people with pre-existing digestive conditions such as irritable bowel syndrome, colitis, or acid reflux. In such cases, cabbage can worsen symptoms, leading to prolonged discomfort, digestive fatigue, and even dehydration if diarrhea occurs. But the effects of cabbage go beyond temporary discomfort. Over time, chronic bloating and digestive distress may reduce the body's ability to absorb nutrients properly. This is especially troubling for older adults who already face challenges absorbing key vitamins and minerals such as calcium, magnesium, zinc, and iron. A prolonged deficiency in these nutrients may contribute to weakened bones, muscle cramps, poor sleep, and chronic fatigue, all of which can reduce mobility and independence in older age. So does this mean cabbage should be completely removed from the diets of older adults? Not necessarily. The key is moderation and proper preparation. If you enjoy cabbage, make sure it is thoroughly cooked before eating. Boiling, steaming, or stir-frying cabbage helps break down goitrogens and raffinose, making it easier to digest and safer for the thyroid. Another helpful strategy is to pair cabbage with iodine-rich foods like seafood, seaweed, eggs, or dairy products. This can help balance the effects of goitrogens and support healthy thyroid function. If you are already taking thyroid medication, it is important to consult your doctor before making cabbage a frequent part of your diet, especially if you prefer it raw or fermented. Fermented cabbage such as sauerkraut or kimchi is another option, as the fermentation process helps break down raffinose and reduce the goitrogen content. However, fermented foods often contain high amounts of salt, which can increase blood pressure and place extra strain on the kidneys. If you are following a low-sodium diet or have a history of high blood pressure, it is best to limit your portion sizes and drink plenty of water to help your body process the salt more effectively. Ultimately, the decision to eat cabbage should be based on your individual health condition, how the cabbage is prepared, and what other foods it is paired with. No food is completely good or completely bad. But for older adults, every dietary choice should be made with care and awareness. If you notice that cabbage frequently causes bloating, fatigue, or changes in how your body feels, try reducing how often you eat it and see if your symptoms improve. Sometimes, just a small adjustment, like cooking your cabbage more thoroughly or combining it with other digestive supporting vegetables, can make a big difference. Are you eating cabbage regularly? Have you noticed any changes in how you feel after eating it? Feel free to share your experience in the comments. And if today's insights have been helpful, do not forget to like this video and subscribe for more health tips tailored to your needs. Dear friend, we have now reached the end of our journey exploring 4 vegetables that may seem harmless, but could silently contribute to joint pain, kidney stones, hormonal imbalances, and digestive issues in older adults. These vegetables include peas, asparagus, spinach, and cabbage. For years, you may have believed that these were healthy foods that should appear on your plate every day. But the truth is, as the body ages, it does not react the same way it did when you were younger. Your digestion, kidneys, thyroid, and bones may all function more slowly or more sensitively. As a result, foods that once felt light and nourishing might now create hidden burdens if not chosen and prepared carefully. The important point is not that you need to completely eliminate these foods. Rather, it is about understanding what your body needs, what it may lack, and how it responds to each dish you eat. As we have seen, spinach is rich in nutrients, but also high in oxalates, which can raise the risk of kidney stones if not cooked properly. Asparagus contains valuable antioxidants, but is also rich in purines, which may worsen gout and dehydration. Cabbage supports digestion in many ways, but can interfere with thyroid function and cause bloating if eaten raw or too often. And peas, while providing plant-based protein, may raise blood sugar, contribute to uric acid buildup, and cause digestive discomfort in some people. The question many people ask is, so what should we eat? The answer is not found in one magical vegetable or miracle cure. It lies in something much simpler: listening to your body. At this stage of life, you do not need to follow strict diets or deprive yourself of joy. You simply need to start with small, thoughtful changes. Cook your vegetables more thoroughly, pair them with healthy fats and proteins, reduce portion sizes, and drink enough water throughout the day. Support your digestion by including gentle herbs like ginger, turmeric, or garlic, and consider adding natural probiotics from plain yogurt or fermented vegetables if they agree with your system. Always remember, you are not alone on this journey. Many people are dealing with joint pain, fatigue, kidney problems, or digestive troubles without realizing that the cause may be something as simple as a vegetable they eat every day. But you are different. You have already taken the first step by seeking knowledge and choosing to take care of yourself. That first step is powerful. You do not have to change everything in one day. Just start with one small decision. Try switching out one ingredient. Try cooking a familiar food a different way. These little steps can add up. Over time, your body will begin to feel lighter. Your digestion will become easier. Your joints will move more freely. Your energy will return. Age may slow the body down, but it can never take away your ability to take charge of your health. If the information we shared today has helped you better understand the relationship between food and your body, please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you will not miss the next episodes filled with more valuable insights. And if you have a story to tell or a tip to share, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Has one of these vegetables ever surprised you? Do you have a trick that has helped your digestion, joints, or kidney health? Sharing your experience may help others too. Wishing you good health, peace, and the strength to keep your legs strong so you can continue walking through life with freedom and ease. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.